And we're live. And we're live for episode 30-something of Slaaap Haaapy. Slaaap Haaapy. Let me try that again. Slaaap Haaapy. That was probably too loud. I'm sorry. Anyway, guys, welcome. Thank you for joining me. This is my show. This is Slaaap Haaapy. I'm a podcaster. I'm a podcast guy. I'm a podcast guy. I do podcasts. That's what I do. Anyway, I'm civilian. I'm Sav. Look, man, I wanted to get on here and have a little chat to the people at home. Thank you for tuning in. If you can see me pointing at you, I'm pointing at you directly. If you can't see me pointing, assume that I'm pointing at you right now. And I want to thank you for tuning in. Listen, man, if you're watching this on YouTube and you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'm 16 away from being able to monetize my YouTube channel. I would love it if you could just hit that fucking subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? And if you're not on, if you're on a podcast, if you're just listening to the audio, I'll link the YouTube below for you to jump over there and subscribe if you want. Anyway, I digress. But man, I'm just going to quickly have a little chat about Origin 2 because I think it's just such an amazing feat for the Blues. I thought it was a very competitive first, 10, 11 minutes. But then the Blues just turned on the class and it was kind of, Queensland just couldn't match them. And you can really feel that sense of camaraderie in that team at the moment. You can feel that that Penrith energy kind of flowing throughout the players. And look, I don't, it's hard to know exactly what's going on there, but you kind of got a feeling that the larrikin kind of like happy-go-lucky nature of guys like Jerome Luai and To'o, you kind of feel like that energy is kind of flowing throughout the team, right? And kind of getting everyone, just kind of taking the pressure off. It's like, that they're going out there and just playing for each other, and there's really good signs. Not only are they playing well, they're all really young. They got good chemistry, and some of the defensive efforts were just huge. So it was really, really encouraging as a New South Welshman. And look, man, I just want 50-6 every game. I want whitewashes. I want pain for the next 8 years because we had to endure a lot of pain as a New South Welshman, as a cockroach. We had to endure a lot of pain. So I'm happy to give it back. Gone are the days where I want close games. I don't want close games. I want thumpings. I want demolitions. I want annihilation. That's what I want. I just want win. I just want winning. Yeah, that would make me happy. Really happy. Yes. Yeah, so it was good. Look, and then the third game, we don't know where it's going to be played at the moment, but I just hope they continue that same, I hope they just bring that same energy. They just keep that same energy and, win at all costs, defend your line, hard on your sleeve, show up for your mate type of mentality. And I think, New South Wales are going to have a really, really beautiful couple of years to come. So, yeah, that was super fun. Look, I just wanted to kind of dive into a couple of things that I've been reading of late and break down, what I got out of them and what I might be able to share with you at home. So the first one is a book called It's All in Your Head. It's written and I listen to the Audible version of these, but it's narrated by Russ, written and spoken by Russ. And Russ is as a hip hop artist from America, self-made kind of millionaire, and just a super, well decorated, successful, well-respected hip-hop artist who kind of writes his own music, raps, sings, produces, mixes, just, does it all. And, he's just kind of risen to prominence over the last 5 to 10 years and is very well respected in the hip-hop community. And this book is all about his ability he talks about some of the keys to his success and some of the tools that he's used. And I think one of the first things he talks about in the book is the 3 things that are required to be successful. And I think this was probably the biggest takeaway for me in this book, right? He says a lot of beautiful things. It's only a very short one. It's only like an hour and 15 minutes. So it's a very small book.
and you can bang it out, fairly quickly. It's like bite-sized pieces of content. But I think the one of the earliest kind of notes that he makes is this 3 keys to success, and what he calls them or what he identifies as the 3 keys to success are delusion, resilience, and gratitude. Right. So I just want to talk about them now because, to me, I think he's nail on the head kind of stuff, right? Delusion, resilience, gratitude. Now, I feel like he's kind of said that in a very specific way, because delusion is the idea of, delusion is this thing where it's like, you kind of need to have an ego to be delusional, right? Because you're not really living in the real world, or you're not living in the world that people tell you is real. You're living in your version of what is real, right? And that can be anything from like, I'm going to be a multimillionaire to like, I'm going to be the next Michael Jordan to, whatever. Delusion can kind of, fit a bunch of molds. But I think delusion is one thing that all super successful people kind of have in common to varying degrees. Now, you have people at the top of that who are like, Kanye, who are like super delusional, but obviously they use it in the right way for the most part. And the reason I think he's put gratitude on the other end is because delusion and gratitude are used to kind of balance each other out, right? Because if you have too much delusion and not enough gratitude, you're an egomaniac, you're a megalomaniac, I think, or you have a messiah complex, and you end up, committing genocide or something like that, right? Delusion to that extent without gratitude is you kind of get out of balance, and you're the negative. You kind of morph into all the negative things that come with delusion and ego, right? But if you get too far the other way, where you have all gratitude and it's all heart and it's all, you might be peaceful and you might be a good person, right? You might have a lovely life, but you're never really going to be super, super successful, because you need a little bit of this delusion to get there, because getting there requires competitiveness, it requires tenacity, and you can't do that without thinking, I am the best or I'm going to be the best, which is delusion to a certain extent, right? Because you're not yet, right? When you're just kind of trying to make it in the world, you're not. You're just some guy fucking kicking around, just hoping for the best. And it requires delusion to go, I see myself on that stage there. I see myself on the top of the billboard. I see myself working with this artist, right? That's delusional in a sense, right? You can call it a whole bunch of other things, but to me, this is the way that he explains it, and this is something that makes a lot of sense to me. Because when I was younger, when I was like 16, 17, maybe 18, I used to say to myself, I am going to be the best rapper in the world, right? That's delusional. Now, what I didn't do is, because they need to all be working together, and I haven't talked about resilience yet, but I will now. So you need delusion to go, I am going to be the best ever. But then you need resilience to kind of like show up and do the work every day, right? And also, when you don't get something, or you feel like you're entitled to something and it doesn't work out, or you take a knock, you need to be able to keep that level up, that level of confidence, that level of ego, that level of delusion. You need to keep that up, and it requires resilience to keep that up, to keep showing up and going, do you know what? I'm going to fucking make it. I'm going to fucking make it no matter what, no matter what gets thrown at you, no matter what you're feeling. It requires resilience to keep that delusion going. Now, to balance it out, then you have gratitude to keep yourself grounded in a sense, because you can't be a pacifist all the time. Sometimes you got to be like, do you know what? Fuck y'all, and grab on your dick a little bit and flex on them. But you got to know when to use that. For the most part, you got to be grounded, and gratitude does that, to look around and just be thankful for where you're at. Not trying to live in another moment, but where you're at, right? Gratitude just balances the whole thing out. And to me, man, I just think it's the perfect way to look at it. Delusion, resilience, gratitude. And if you have those 3 things in a healthy balance, man, I mean, Russ is a perfect example of what's possible. Like, this is a guy who has built everything himself, who remained resilient, who remained delusional when he had no success. He kept building, he kept grinding, he kept believing in himself. And now that he's there, I mean, like, I believe that he used gratitude the whole way because of his mother, and he was able to like stay grounded in that way, like look at her and go, you know what, we're doing this. I'm going to make this for you. And, you know, I'm going to make this because I want to make our lives better. So he was able to stay grounded to a sense in that way. And, man, I just think if you can have those three things in balance, you can really turn yourself into a fucking deadly human being. Now, I've wavered in all three of those in different parts of my life. In certain parts of my life when I was younger, I had all the delusion in the world, but none of the resilience, and probably not enough of the gratitude. Right now, I probably have heaps of gratitude, and I'm building the resilience, but I probably don't have enough delusion. I'm probably not, you know, it's hard for me to use the words, I'm the best rapper in this country, right? It's hard for me to use those words because I feel like an imposter when I say that. I feel like I'm lying. And that's because I haven't done enough work to kind of at least allow me to start getting close to thinking that is a possibility, right? So I probably have heaps of the gratitude. I'm practicing gratitude daily and you know, grounding myself and being happy for where I'm at and being grateful for where I'm at. I have a bit of the resilience. I'm definitely a lot more resilient than I've ever been. I've been showing up and doing work and you know, committing to the journey. But I probably don't have enough of the first one, which is delusion, the ego that makes me grab on my dick and just, you know how rappers, like when they're feeling themselves and they're really getting into shit, they start like grabbing on their dick and kind of flexing like that. That's the kind of energy that, you know, not in a vulgar way. It's not meant to be vulgar. It's just like a yeah, I'm here and I'm doing this kind of. It's you kind of internalizing and externalizing how you feel about yourself, right? And I need a little bit more of that. I want to be able to like get on a beat and just go, you know what, I'm gonna fuck up a 16 and show, put everyone on notice kind of thing. I've started to get a little bit more of that back recently. I wrote a freestyle recently, which I recorded a video to over lemon pepper. And I'm going to be putting that out in the next week or two. The video is almost done. So, you know, and that in that particular one, I did start to feel myself a bit more. And, you know, I'm starting to get a bit of that delusion back. And man, I mean, to make it in this world, honestly, to make it to the highest heights, to make it to the places that I've always dreamt about, you need that in fucking bucket loads. You need delusion, resilience in bucket loads. You need gratitude, obviously, to kind of balance it all out. But I swear to God, if you don't have those first two, especially that first one, you ain't making it. Simple as that. There's not enough spots at the table. You know, just playing nice guy and playing coy, you know, that has its place in certain parts of the world, but not in terms of, you know, the highest heights of success, in my opinion. You know, and that's not to say like just go be a fucking egomaniac for the sake of it. It's put in the work, make yourself good enough, and then tell yourself and tell the world that you're good enough. Right? That's what I'm talking about. So that's Russ's book. It's called It's All in Your Head. That's just a little bit about that. And, you know, it's a book that I've really loved, and I'm probably going to listen to it almost monthly because it's that short and it's just jam-packed with wisdom. The other one is, I just started reading this. I'm probably a quarter of the way into it, maybe two, you know, a quarter and a half of the way into it. What's that? Like an eighth or 2/8? No, that's a quarter. Maybe 3/8. It's a book that I'm loving. It's called Greenlights, Matthew McConaughey. It's kind of like his memoirs, but I don't think he calls it a memoirs. I think he calls it a toolkit, or I can't remember. He uses a specific phrase to talk about, you know, what he believes the book is best suited for. So, man, I'm fucking loving it. I love how he talks. I love how he laughs. I love how he, you know, he's just a quality human being, a quality human being. And you can hear that in the way that he talks. You can hear that in the way that he describes things. Yeah, it's dope. It's really fucking dope. So, I mean, I'm not going to talk about it in too much detail because I'm still reading it. But if you have not read this book, I highly recommend going and getting it because it is so fucking good. Yeah, can't recommend it highly enough. Anyway, I will share a little bit of piece of news, or two pieces of news. The first song off my Dutch Boys EP, which is a combined EP that me and Ruku have been working on, right? It's our EP. It's called Dutch Boys. The first song off of that is called Showdown, and that is just about done. So we are close to uploading that, and we are close to announcing a release date. The other thing is, there's two more things. My next single, Civilian's next single, is called Gratitude. Now, you might have noticed I'm wearing a Gratitude hoodie. These are going to be for sale soon, along with the release of my song Gratitude. Now, it's a theme that's really in my head at the moment. It's something that I've been spending a lot of time around and thinking about, gratitude. And I probably am going to be talking about it a bit more on my podcast. So stay tuned for more gratitude talks. But yeah, the hoodie will be available soon. The song will be available soon. I'll be giving you all them dates in the next week or two. And then the third thing is that on the 12th of next month, July, I've actually booked in a guest, a very, very special guest. His name is Isaac John, or Ice. He is the co-owner of a clothing company called YKTR. He's an ex-NRL footballer. He is somewhat of a mentor to me in terms of I follow all his content and in the way that he speaks and carries himself. And he's someone that I look up to. He's not my actual mentor, but in terms of like someone that I look up to and someone that I try to learn from, he is definitely that, which is what a mentor is really. So yeah, he's great. I'm grateful for the fact that he's giving his time up to small time podcasters to kind of sit down for a chat. And man, I'm so looking forward to that. So that's going to be the chat will be on the 12th of July, which is 2 Mondays away. And then I'll probably have that podcast up the following Wednesday. So maybe the 14th of July. So yeah, super looking forward to that. Yeah, that's going to be big. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in to Slaaap Haaapy. That's been episode 31-ish, maybe 32. But yeah, really appreciate you guys for checking in. And what do you think about those three things that Russ was talking about? Delusion, resilience, gratitude. Do we think that they're the keys right there? Would you add one? Would you subtract one? What do you reckon? So I think they're perfect. I think they are the perfect balance. But you guys might have a different opinion on it. I would like to know what that is. So yeah, drop a comment below and let's get to chatting. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll catch you next week on Slaaap Haaapy.
Yes, I'm just praying for some gratitude. Bless